Within Editable Poly, we have the ability to constrain the movement of subobjects relative to other subobjects. So this is a pretty amazing ability. You'll see that those constraints exist within the Modify panel, but they also exist within Graphite itself. So what I'd like to do is I want to move this edge loop in different ways. I might want to slide it up and down relative to its neighbor edges, or I might want to move these edges in or out relative to the normal, or relative to a line sticking out at 90 degrees to that edge. So it works best if I'm in a subobject mode, so I'm going to go into Edge Subobject mode, and I want to select that whole loop. So I'll go into Loop Selection mode, click to select that loop, and then I've got constraints up here. So I can constrain to none, which is the default, which means I have total freeform ability to mess up my model. Control Z to undo that. I've got constrain to edge, and this is really useful because as I drag my cursor up and down with a move tool, you'll see we're constraining to the existing edges. So I can slide that up and down. Very helpful. I can also constrain to polygons. This is less helpful because it's got limits on it. I can only constrain to one polygon, so it's only going to move as far up as there. So I won't be able to go up any further. So I don't tend to use that one so much. But then finally we have constrain to normal. And this one is really helpful because this will let me move those edges, in this case in or out, relative to their normal, or in other words relative to an imaginary line that's sticking out at right angles to that edge. So I can kind of make this bigger or smaller. And it kind of looks similar to if you were scaling it, but that's just because this is a perfectly circular edge loop. So constraining subobject transforms is a very helpful tool within 3ds Max Editable Poly and Graphite.